Good morning, Muscatine, and happy Wellness Wednesday. My name is Autumn Schultz, and I am your host. And as always, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Hy-Vee, Unity Point Health, and Trinity Muscatine, Muscatine Power and Water, Becky Insurance, Toyota of Muscatine, Rivel Plumbing and Heating, Impact Fitness and Nutrition, Lutheran Living Senior Campus, Impact Life Blood Center, Harper Cycling and Fitness, Muscatine County Fair, and Bayer of Muscatine. Some events that are happening this week. The benefit for the Calderon family is September 15th from 4 to 7 at Franklin Elementary. Julie was a loving and devoted teacher in the Muscatine community for 28 years, and she's going to be missed by so many, especially within the school district. So there's $5 meals, there's going to be a bake sale, a silent auction that's going to take place from 4 to 6, carnival games, bounce houses. These are $10 for wristbands for both, and then also a dunk tank, and it's $5 for 3 balls. So this is September 15th from 4 to 7 at Franklin Elementary for the Calderon family benefit. So be sure to attend this. The Friends of the Muscatine Arts Center are pleased to announce the fundraising production of Encore for Murder, the new adventures of Mickey Spillman's Mike Hammer, created by Max Allen Collins. This is taking place on September 17th at 7 p.m. The general admission is $15 for general seating for the play only, and the major fundraiser for the Muscatine Arts Center. So join them as they celebrate the arts in a grand fashion for the Encore for Murder, and this is at 7 p.m. on Saturday 17th. Another thing that is taking place on Saturday is a food truck fight. This returns. This is Saturday from 12 to 8. There are 18 food trucks that are going to be out there, and also a beverage tent that is going to be from the Rotary Club and GMCCI for the beverage tent. Admission is $10. Kids 12 and under are free, and there will also be live music during the entire event alongside the riverfront. So you can check this out and more with foodtruckfight.com. So be sure to get your ticket, and if you want to do a VIP experience, get your ticket online for that. And they will announce the winner at 7 p.m. with a little QR code that you can go around to the 18 trucks and cast your vote. Speaking of Wellness Wednesday, this is always my favorite day as a nutrition coach. I love talking about health and wellness. So I have Matt McKinney from Unity Point Clinic, Northport. Good morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. And of course, welcome to Muscatine.
Yeah, excited to be here.
So what brought you to work in Muscatine, especially at Unity Point Clinic?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Donahue, Iowa. I went to North Scott High School in Eldridge, Iowa. And actually both of my grandparents on my dad's side are from Muscatine. And although they moved to Davenport before I was born, my great-grandma lived down here until she passed away at the age of 101.
Wow.
And so we would come down often to visit her. We would have a family reunion down here. And so somewhat familiar with the community. And so when I started kind of seeking out employment opportunities, it seemed like a very desirable location to work. I always wanted to work in a smaller community, as I feel it gives you the opportunity to really get to know your patients and then try to keep their health care locally, rather than having them go off to see 30, 40-minute drives to see a provider or specialist or something like that, trying to keep everything local for the patients.
Yeah, when COVID would hit, I had my son, I had to drive up to University of Iowa. Thankfully, it was in the summer, not in the winter, so that was a good thing. So for you especially, what got you interested in healthcare, especially family medicine? Yeah,
so it kind of started back in my high school days. I played sports growing up, and there was a family physician that volunteered a lot of his time. And so kind of talking with him, I was like, oh, I think this is something I'd be interested in. And then through my high school, there was some different kind of exposures to healthcare related fields, so did some shadowing, and then just really liked science and kind of went from there. And so that was kind of my introduction to medicine. Did some time shadowing in both college, and then that kind of reaffirmed things, and decided to pursue medicine.
And for this especially, what is kind of that main focus point that you'll be providing here at Unity Point for us?
Yeah, and so one of the big things that got me into family medicine specifically was just the variety of options, and then preventative care is one of the things I'm most passionate about. And so trying to make sure that patients are up to date on cancer screenings, various health maintenance items, vaccinations. One of my favorite phrases that I learned throughout medical training was an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so I think especially in a smaller community where there may be limited access to specialists or things like that, trying to catch diseases or processes early in their state can really prevent a lot of complications down the road for patients. And so that's something that I'll really try to emphasize with my patients.
You're going to need to put that quote in your office. I think it needs to be there so people can see that. So speaking of kind of screenings and early screenings, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. What is kind of that importance that you want to make sure that Muscatine really knows about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, breast cancer is one of those things that is very treatable if it's caught early, and it's a fairly simple, straightforward screening test of a mammogram. And so we recommend at the age of 40 getting an annual mammogram. And then if you have a family history of breast cancer or relatives with kind of breast cancer earlier in their life, that may change for you, and you can discuss with your provider on particular screening times for yourself if that would be the case, but making sure to get those screenings with the goal of trying to prevent or to detect it early rather than later.
And then is this also something for you doing breast cancer and also even colon, that same areas that you'll recommend these annually, or just the breast cancer for women?
Yep, so breast cancer is an annual screening recommendation for women. And then although it's rare, men are at risk of breast cancer as well, especially if there's a family history, so that's something to keep in mind. And so something to discuss with your provider if you do have a family history of breast cancer in males in your family. And then for colon cancer, so colorectal cancer is the third leading cause of cancer-related death in both men and women. And it's something that if it's detected early is very treatable. And a lot of times it'll start with little polyp type lesions that are precancerous, and so removing those early on in the course can prevent complications down the road. And so kind of the recommendations for colorectal cancer screening, experts recommend starting at age 45, and then of course sooner if you have a strong family history, which you could discuss with your provider about.
And for you, when it comes to especially local, I love the fact that you said, I wanted something small, I wanted to have that connection. What to you is that importance of having a local health care within our area?
Yeah. So having someone locally that you are established with and have a close relationship that you feel comfortable going to for medical issues just encourages access to care. There's certain barriers, potentially being in a smaller community, transportation, lack of providers, and so having someone locally that can help address your issues and coordinate specialist care if necessary, I feel like just overall supports people to come in for their screenings and their health related issues. Whereas if they had to drive or something like that, it may or may not be done for them.
And for you, especially, you're brand new. You said you've been here for 2 weeks?
A couple weeks now, yeah.
Okay, and how have you been able to experience Muscatine yet?
Yeah, so I've been busy kind of building up my practice so far, but it's been great coming down here and seeing some of the familiar places that I had seen as a kid coming down to visit, and then just kind of the changes to Muscatine. I feel like there's been a lot that's been done to it, particularly like the downtown area, and so looking forward to kind of exploring some of those areas as well.
You need to make like a Muscatine bucket list of all the new places, what's new, what is still here, and being able to really expand on that. And especially, people want to know people. What are some just fun facts about you that you want Muscatine to know?
Yeah, well, for one, I'm really excited to be here. This has been a long time coming for me. I knew I was going to be working here about 1.5 years ago, and so I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. But outside of medicine, I like to stay active. I enjoy biking, golfing. I also enjoy reading. Watching sports with the NFL season starting up. But hoping to get to know more, residents of the community as well as I get more engaged with the community as I continue to build up my practice. We
have 2 amazing golf courses here.
Great.
Muni and Geneva.
Okay.
And then did you go to the Iowa State game?
I didn't, but I watched it.
And who were you?
I was hoping for the Hawkeyes, so it's a little disappointing, but it is hard to beat a team 8 years in a row. So I guess we had to give one to Iowa State.
Have to give it to maybe every now and then. We'll give them that. So especially with like your healthcare and family medicine, what is that one thing that you really want to push forward to Muscatine to saying, hey, I'm here, I'm available, this is what I will focus with you?
Yeah, so I think just trying to take the time to listen to patients when they come in, getting a real thorough history, seeing what areas of preventative screenings could be met, what areas in their life that could use some assistance with, whether that's diet, exercise, smoking cessation is a big thing, and so just kind of focusing on their history and their issues and kind of tailoring kind of a health plan specific to their unique circumstance.
Perfect. Well, is there any other additional information that you would like to share with us and the community?
Yeah, kind of just like I said, just looking forward to getting more involved and getting to know more of the residents of Muscatine as continue to build up my practice.
And of course, where are you located?
Yep. So I'm at the Unity Point Northport Clinic on the north side of town. I think it's a great clinic. I was fortunate to spend a couple weeks there during my residency and got to know everyone, and that's kind of what really drew me to that clinic specifically.
Nice.
And so I think we have a great group of people and providers out there. And so if you're looking for a primary care provider, please consider us.
Perfect. Well, congratulations and welcome to Muscatine officially.
Yeah.
And hopefully you get to go out and explore and have some fun. Go out and check Almost Friday Fest out next week.
Yeah.
So that's a Thursday and Friday. And just thank you so much for coming in and just helping us provide this information and get ready for especially October with Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
It's coming up, then the month is going by too quickly.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Welcome to Muscatine.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, we are going to take a quick break and we are going to talk about the mental health 5K walk and run with two amazing ladies here in Muscatine. We'll be right back.
To serve. When you buy a vehicle at a multi-brand dealership and it isn't locally owned, it can be difficult to get information that you need.
That's why all of our trained salespeople are focused on one thing, getting you the best deal possible on a new or used Toyota.
And when you pick your favorite, we will help you with financing and maintenance.
We love helping our neighbors.
Come to Toyota Muscatine today.
We've all been through a lot together. And along the way, you'll find out who really cares for you and who you can trust. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens in life. Like those days when the amazing happens. Or those days that are really, really hard. That's why you need someone like Unity Point Health. Because when it comes to your health, you gotta have someone you can trust. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Hi, I'm TJ Deere, General Manager here at Toyota of Muscatine.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm from Muscatine.
My name is Logan and I'm from Muscatine.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we believe in investing in our community.
And that's why all our members are local to the Muscatine area.
It's why we give generously to charities based in our city.
Because we believe that giving back means paying it forward.
That's why an investment in us is an investment in our community.
And hello again, we are back and we are talking more about health and wellness, and we have a fun event that is happening this Saturday morning with the 5K mental health walk and run, and this is provided by Next Gen Motors. And I have two amazing ladies that are going to tell us all about this information. Good morning.
Good morning.
So quick introduce yourself and what you do here in Muscatine.
So I'm Alma Brunson. My husband created Michaela's Hope Charitable Fund. I work here at the courthouse, lifelong resident of Muscatine.
My name is Denise Greenhaw, and I actually work at H&I. And my husband and son own Next Gen Motors of Muscatine, and super excited to be here today.
Perfect. And I remember going to your ribbon cutting event, and you had mentioned this, seeing you want to set up a mental health walk. What inspired you to say, okay, this is happening, let's make this happen?
Yeah, I really feel like, Next Gen Motors has given us a platform to give back to the community, and then also do something that we're very passionate about. So my entire family, my son and daughter both played D1 sports, and it's a lot of stress when you're in college and you're trying to play a sport and actually have the academic part of it as well. My family, my mother had a history of mental health, which to me there's different forms, as Alma and I were talking about. But I said it there, and I was like, wow, I think I'm really passionate about this, because I didn't plan on saying that. So now I'm able to carry that through this weekend.
Yeah. And so let's start with the basics of the walk. So let's start date, location, and time.
Yes. So
everyone needs to know those.
Exactly. Okay, so it's September 17th, so it's this Saturday. We have two phenomenal speakers. So one of them is Alma Brunson. And then Haley Degree from Gray Matters Collective will also be speaking, and that starts at 9 a.m. The race starts at 9:30. There's two different options. So you could either do the walk, which is a 1K, or you could do the 5K walk or run.
And Alma, I know that you are a guest speaker and you have a personal tie to this. Can you kind of talk about Michaela's Hope organization?
Yes, so we lost our 16-year-old daughter to suicide November 14th, 2016. So when we experienced that loss, we were completely blindsided. Completely shattered and blindsided, had no idea that Michaela was dealing with any sort of mental health. As the community rallied around us and cared for us, loved us and supported us, people started reaching out and saying, here's my story, here's my experience, here's what happened in my family. And as Denise said, there's power in that sharing. We need to raise awareness, to talk about it, to erase that stigma. And I think that sometimes, people it's a shameful thing, we don't talk about it. That's one of the reasons we speak openly and honestly and often about it, because we want people that are suffering in silence to know they're not alone. And that was one of the things that we learned after Michaela's passing. And another was what a huge epidemic it was, suicide and mental health. So my husband and I have, my husband created through a course that he took, Leadership Muscatine created Michaela's Hope along with Brian Moiselle and Zach Kincaid. They created Michaela's Hope, and it is to raise awareness programs and resources here locally in Muscatine. That was one of the things that was important to us, because our community rallied around us so well, and one of the things that we learned was the barriers that a lot of people experience to mental health, whether that's lack of transportation or insurance or just the resources. So that's one of the goals for Michaela's Hope. Another thing that we do is we go into the schools, we partner with the schools for training for teachers. We present. We've presented at Susan Clark Junior High. We've presented at the high school, and we talk to the kids and we share Michaela's story. And we encourage them to speak out if they're going through a dark time. We let them know, you're not alone, we're here. And one of the things that just was really struck with me when we presented at the high school last fall, we presented 5 times in one day. We presented to all the classes and 2 freshman classes.
Wow.
And after each presentation, we had anywhere from 2 to 6 kids that came up and they wanted to either give us their condolences, give us a hug, or just cry. They didn't even have the words. And so through that, honoring Michaela's memory by doing this work, we hope that we can avoid somebody going through what we go through every single day.
Dang it, you're making me cry. Darn, these mom hormones now.
yeah, we were talking about that earlier. The mom gene is strong.
The mom gene hormones. I've lost a handful of my friends during my high school time from suicide, and you never know. They hide it, and you wish that they wouldn't, and you want to know why. And I think having a resource like this, and you're keeping it in the community. Dang these hormones.
It's one of the things that we talk about is when you love someone, when they die, you don't stop loving them. Your love for them doesn't die with them. So we still have all this love to give Michaela. And Michaela, when she was here, helped so many people with her loving, outgoing personality. She was the person that when she saw someone struggling, she would go to them, hey, what's going on? And she would talk and she would love and support them. So we want to continue that. So we say Michaela continues to help other people.
You keep it
people she's never even met.
You keep it in present tense, and I love that. I think that's neat. And can you also talk to me a little bit about the other benefit is the Gray
Matters Collective. Yes, and so I was going to say my son actually went to school with Michaela and always talked very highly of her too. So when we were selecting, the people that would benefit or the proceeds would go to, actually you guys were the first one that came to mind. I had met Haley DeGrieve about 6 months ago. She had won an award. It was called Athena Awards out of the Quad Cities, and she's in her early 20s, and she suffered from mental health issues herself. And she finally said, you know, enough's enough. I'm going to do something to make an impact. So she formed this organization, and she's a fabulous person, and I can't wait to hear her speak. And, you know, she's really inspirational, and I think just having other people, especially college-age students, when you're going through so much, hear her struggles and listen to her be vulnerable really helps them as well.
And I was going to say, Denise spoke on something that is a point that I wanted to make, is there's a lot of pressure with sports, and you know, we Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, you have these top level Olympic athletes that are at the top of their game and that are like, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
And it was, to me, it was just so powerful that yes, there's a lot of pressure to perform and to do all these things. And I think that was really a poignant thing for me to see that happen. I was glad.
I think it really too, and especially mental health, stress work, and like dealing with your time, like your timelines, and making sure you're getting all this work done and trying to go above and beyond. A lot of my athletes deal with the stress load. If there's one thing that triggers them most, of not wanting to work out or not wanting to eat well or not wanting to stay active, or they go to the sugar portions or the drinking, it's because of work stress. And the mental health is one of the main things that we really focus on and push forward, is saying if you're mentally not where you need to be, let's find that help and that resource before we try and add any other healthy habits, because if your mind's not there, nothing else is going to matter. And they can hide it so well.
Yes.
And now when they come into, especially when they want to come into the gym, I say, whatever's happening, I want you to leave it right here at this door, because I want you to focus on you, and that's what needs to happen.
Right.
I think this is a really great walk for anyone, from kids to adults, that making sure that they are aware that their mental health is just as important as their physical health or their nutrition. This has to be that baseline to have success in their life.
Well, and it's common nature for us to talk about going to the doctor about so many things. You know, your common cold, or you know, you have a more long term. But it's just one of those things where I just think people just don't feel comfortable saying that, you know, I really think I need to go, you know, to the doctor or get checked out. And so that I do feel comfortable that both my children reached out, and I think that was great for them to be able to have enough courage to do that. And so that kind of has given them the passion to do this as well.
And will you have any resources, any information on maybe providers, psychiatrists, therapists that will?
Absolutely. So I wanted to mention Unity Point Health, Trinity Muscatine will be there as a resource. Eastern Iowa Mental Health and Disability Service has reached out and wants to attend. And then, if you don't mind, I do want to give a shout out to some of the sponsors, because quite frankly, I didn't know if I'd have 2 or 5. So, and I have a little bit more than that. I think I have 11. So I just want to say, so Healing Compass is actually contributing for the silent auction, Impact Fitness. So thank you so much,
of course,
Autumn. Coffee Belt will be there, and part of the proceeds will actually go back to the organization.
Nice.
Next Gen Motors, of course, will actually be sponsoring.
I would hope so.
I would hope so. So yes. Country Financial, so they had provided a sponsorship as well. West Liberty Country Club, ZWB General Construction. Phelps has actually, contributed in a way. Hy-Vee is actually, so thank you, Hy-Vee. They're going to be contributing all the fruits. Nice. And then Cryo Wellness, downtown Muscatine. One other one, Marco Technologies, was late getting in, so I didn't have them on the banners. But I cannot say thank you enough to these folks who didn't know anything about this event, and I really hope it's an annual event. I hope it just doesn't, start and end on Saturday. I hope we can carry it on for many years ahead. And again, I want to say thank you so much, Alma, for participating. I think it's an awesome thing you guys are doing. It takes a lot of courage. I've heard you speak at other places and couldn't be thankful enough.
Well, and the Brunsons, and I know that Haley would echo the sentiment that we appreciate you for giving us the benefit of the fruits of your labor, as they would say. We thank you for that.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about the event itself.
Okay.
So what's the 5K starts and ends at Next Gen?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll try to describe it. We really thought it'd be great if it would start and end at Next Gen Motors, although it was a little bit of a challenge. So I have a friend, Sam, who actually helped us with the route. So it'll go from Next Gen Motors out onto Cleveland Street.
Okay.
And then right behind AutoZone, it will cross over into the H&I parking lot, into their kind of all that pavement by the fence.
Yep.
It'll go down by the H&I CX Center to the bike path,
Okay.
and then we'll follow that all the way down to Weed Park. And then at Weed Park by the pond, we will turn around and come back.
Oh, perfect. And that's a very safe route too.
Yes,
Really
yes.
good.
There's only 2 places you have to cross the street, but
Okay.
not too much traffic.
Nice. And how much is the registration for adults and 17 and under?
Yeah, so for adults it's $20, and then if you're under 17, it's $10.
Okay. And can people still register in person day of?
They can register all the way up to the time the speakers start, which is at 9 a.m.
Oh, perfect. Plenty of time then.
Yes.
And what is the best way for people to register? Is it easier to go online, or is it easier to be in person?
There is an online registration. If you would go to Next Gen Motors Facebook page, you will be able to find that. The other way, you can actually, we have a sign-up form, and I think we have it on the screen too, but you can fill out the sign-up form that is also out there, and then just bring it in the day of registration or before that. I think from 12 to 6 p.m. we'll have packet pickup on Friday, and then all the way up to the start of the speakers, they can pick it up as well.
Perfect. And really, I mean, say I'm not a runner, and trust me, I'm not a runner at all, but why should someone who isn't a runner still come out to this event?
Yeah, I think it's just to support the community, and just, you know, if anybody has a passion or knows somebody, which I'd beg we all probably know somebody who has struggled with mental health at some point in their lives. I think it's really just support other people, and we even have a handful of people that asked if they could register as a team. And so they're you know, paying the $20 or $10, but then they're going to create a team name. So we thought that'd be a little bit of fun. But yeah, so anybody, and
I think showing support for people that are struggling, they see I'm not alone. They're seeing people that are showing up, erasing that stigma. So showing up at the race, you can walk the 3 miles, you can walk the 1 mile, and as we all know, physical exercise is good for your mental health as well. So why not combine the two?
I agree.
It's a great endorphin, and it's one of the 4 areas when it comes to mental health. You've got emotional, psychological, social, and then of course, you know, the physical portion of it. Yes, that was 4. I had to count again. I was like, wait, my math, we're good. Math is there. It's not my strong suit, but it is there. And then of course, any refreshments, anything that in that sort, make sure that they're refueling.
We'll have water. As I mentioned, Hy-Vee is donating the fruit. I do know that, oh, let me think here. Oh, Coffee Belt, I'm so sorry. Coffee Belt is bringing their mobile cart, so I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yep.
And they said they'd have some, you know, seasonal beverages. And so I think that'll be great. They'll start around, I think, 7:30 or 8. So if people happen to come early, they can grab some coffee, and welcome to check out the showroom if you've never been at Next Gen Motors. But yeah, we're super excited.
And weather looks great too?
Weather looks great. This week it's supposed to be in the 80s, I hear, but I'm going to knock on something because you just never know.
It's usually cooler in the morning, so
it's a little bit cooler, but it's going to feel great. And I'm looking at the Facebook page. There's quite a few people that are saying that they're going and interested, so it's a great crowd already, and still have a couple days, and people like to just come the day of too. So it's going to be a fun event. You'll have the walk, and then go over and have the food truck. So there's a great chance to get some more food.
Absolutely. There's actually, we do have in the silent auction a VIP food truck certificate. So that will be available as well.
What are some of the other silent auctions that people can maybe look forward to?
Yeah, so West Liberty, 2 9-hole rounds. I think they're both valued at $75 a piece.
Nice.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your gift basket?
Oh yeah, we are doing a gift basket. So Christina and I from Healing Compass, we've collaborated together. So she is donating a 60-minute massage. because who doesn't love massages?
Absolutely.
Impact is also doing a 12-pass punch card, and one of my favorite cookbooks, and then some easy nutrition supplies that, you know, when it comes to snack packs, meal prep containers, shaker bottles, and some Ascent protein. So your overall nutrition wellness in a beautiful package there. The cookbook is a HSN dietitian approved, actually made cookbook that are family-friendly recipes that everyone can enjoy. So very easy and family interactive, and then of course get into Impact for a free 12-class punch card.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks
of course.
so much. And then Cryo Wellness, you know, Sam will have a package.
Oh yeah, I love
I think
Sam.
It was worth up to $200, I believe is what she said.
Yeah.
So really appreciate her contributing and also helping outline the routes. And trying to see if there's any other ones on here. Of course, Next Gen Motors, so we will have a full detail. I think the value of that is $160, and then some oil changes as well.
Who doesn't need those? they
right.
need those. Those are great ones. I would say all health and wellness related to, obviously, and then Next Gen Motors. We'll call that health and wellness to our cars.
Yeah.
There we go. Health and wellness to the cars. I think those are all great ones, and it keeps the mental focus as well. I've always loved hearing your story. Scott always talks amazing about you.
Thank you.
And so I'm so sad I cannot be here this weekend, but I will be there in spirit, of course. I know Scott will also be there to make an appearance.
Great.
He'll bring the little guy. They probably won't do a 1K, but he'll do laps around the parking lot.
There you go.
That will be his walk. So
Get Daddy's exercise in.
that will be Daddy's exercise, is laps around the parking lot. Perfect. Is there any other additional information you would like to share with this event?
I would like to just close with two things. The one being that July of this year, 988 has launched. So 988 is a suicide crisis line. It used to be the 1-800-275-78855. Now it is 988. Just like you would call 911, you now call 988.
Wow,
so if someone is dealing in crisis, someone is having a difficult time, they can just dial that. It's easy to remember, 988, so that you can get help and get some resources there. They also, you know, young people today, rather than call and talk, kids today, they prefer to text. There's also a 741 where you can just text. If you're going through struggling, you can just text somebody having a hard time, and there's going to be somebody right there that's going to talk to you and help get you through. There's also a veterans, it's the same thing, it's a veterans crisis line, and it's 838-255. And it's always, when I present, I always like to remind people that if you're going through a dark time, please ask for help. There is no shame in asking for help.
These hormones are killing me right now.
And then lastly, I would just say, you know, even if you're not interested in the race, no problem. But if you can, come between 9 and 9:30 a.m. I promise you will be moved by both of their stories, and you know, it's going to be a great day. So join us if you can.
Haley's an amazing speaker. Haley actually has a TED Talk. I'm very intimidated to speak with Haley. She's amazing, but she is definitely worth. I'm glad you said that. Just come and listen and hear what she has to say.
Yeah,
you're gonna be great. You will be. I mean, you talk in front of kids all the time. You're going to have everyone within Muscatine community there. And you said the earliest that people can start showing up is 7:30, correct?
They can come at 7:30, and there'll be coffee, and they can just kind of hang out and get their packets and all of that good stuff.
But definitely be there 9 a.m.
9 a.m. is when the speakers will start.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I love this hotline. I think that is so important, so easy to remember too, because like the 1-800 number, I don't remember it. So our family have, when we present, we have these keychains that were made, and I brought one for you. So this is the Michaela's Hope keychains, and it has the crisis number and then the text number. And when we present to the kids, we suggest to them that they screenshot that and keep it on their phone. So if they find themselves in a situation, or they have a friend that has a situation where they're struggling, they can have that resource right on their phone with that information. I love this.
So
Oh, so well, thank you for bringing that. And it fits perfectly with my 100 other keys. Perfect. Well, thank you again, ladies. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Please take a lot of pictures. I want to see everything that's happening.
Perfect. And thank you, Autumn. Really appreciate having us on the show.
I promise next year I'll make sure I have nothing going on this weekend. I will be here next year, and it will happen next year. We'll make sure
and
that
by
it
the way,
does.
September is Suicide Prevention Month. I forgot to mention that. So that's another reason why we selected this month.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect month.
Yeah.
It's a great month.
Yep.
And it's still good weather.
Exactly.
It's the in-between weather. So no rain, no hard winds. Knock on wood. Yeah. Perfect. Well, Muscatine, please be sure to join me tomorrow. I have United Way of Muscatine coming on to talk about Day of Caring, and then I also have Karen Cooney, the co-director and producer for Encore for Murder. They will both be on, and be sure to sign up for the mental health walk, the food truck fight, and then next week is the walk to end Alzheimer's, so please be sure to sign up for that and help walk to raise awareness. Until then, stay happy and stay healthy. I will see you later, Muscatine.
When you buy a vehicle for Toyo Muscatine, keeping your vehicle safely on the road is our highest priority.
We offer scheduled maintenance and extended service hours for those unexpected repairs.
Our service department's mechanics are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality of care.
Feel free to ask any of our friendly staff if you have any questions.
Come on down to Toyota Muscatine today.